All right, Alexander, let's do a super quick video here on the breaking news, which is the UK court, the High Court, I believe. Anyway, you'll get into it. The UK court has said that Assange can go ahead with his appeal of the decision. This came very quickly, in my
Yes.
opinion. It seems very, very fast, but good news, I imagine.
It is very good news, and it has come through very fast. And I can say straight away why it's happened, which is that there's been a major backlash amongst the legal community about the High Court decision. I've already discussed the High Court decision. The point is that the High Court decided to accept assurances from the United States about how Assange should be treated without properly reviewing those assurances, without considering whether it was appropriate for the United States to make assurances in the way that it had, without giving time to Assange's lawyers to address the assurances one by one, and the High Court has been forced, in view of this, to accept that there is a serious point of law, and the case can now proceed to the Supreme Court. Now, I have to say straight away, it's not the end of the road, because Assange still has to get the Supreme Court itself to agree to hear this appeal. It's in three stages. He's got to get permission from the High Court, he's got to get permission from the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court has got to hear it. It's a hideously prolonged agony of this. It keeps him in Belmarsh all this time. But I'm also going to say something else, which is that given that the High Court has been forced to accept that there is a serious question of law here, I cannot realistically imagine the Supreme Court refusing him an opportunity to put his case to them in a proper appeal. So it looks like we are going to have an arguable a hearing in the Supreme Court. And to be straightforward about this, if that hearing is properly conducted, if the Supreme Court hears the legal arguments properly, then Assange should win.
What does that mean, real quick? Assange should win. Win what
Well,
exactly?
the Supreme Court should set aside the order of the High Court granting the United States' appeal, which is purely on the issue of assurances. It should reinstate the original judgment of District Judge Baritza, which is that the the extradition application has been refused. At which point the United States cannot appeal the decision of the Supreme Court, and in theory, the extradition is ended. The extradition request is refused, and it is ended. The United States has been talking, in that case, about making another attempt at applying for Assange's extradition. But as even the High Court has admitted, the high probability is that that would have to be rejected as an abusive process. You can't just go on applying for someone's extradition indefinitely. So if Assange wins in the Supreme Court, the very high probability, not the absolute certainty, but the very high probability is that he will have won the legal battle and he will be able to stay in Britain and not be extradited to the United States.
And do you have a timeline, give or take, or all of this?
Nobody, no, this is very, very problematic. Now, in theory, it could take years. I mean, I know appeals in the Supreme Court which can take years. He is in prison. He is in Belmarsh. There's a great deal of information that he's extremely unwell. Logically and properly, the Supreme Court should expedite this. In other words, they should hear it fast, in which case it's still likely to take the rest of this year.
Right. Final question. Do you think there's anything related to Boris's, I don't know, lack of a better mini comeback, or trying to avoid getting ousted from his position? Do you think he may have, put a little bit of pressure to try and get some more, public goodwill his way? Just a thought.
It's a thought. I mean, it's possible. I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? On balance, I think what's probably weighed on the High Court a lot more is the fact, as I said, that there's been a backlash against this decision. I mean, many lawyers have been extremely unhappy about the way in which the High Court made its decision back in October. They feel that the decision was simply wrong, that the High Court can't just accept assurances which were given long after the trial itself had taken place, and then decided to accept those assurances without a proper hearing and without allowing the Assange's lawyers an opportunity to provide proper evidence to rebut those assurances. So I think that's probably what the ultimate reason for this decision is.
All right, we will leave it there. Anything else you want to add before we close it
Well,
out?
I mean, you know, we have to be mildly hopeful, but let's not open any champagne corks. It's a long battle still, and in what is an extremely politicized case, we can't be at all confident that the outcome is going to be good. So, you know, the Supreme Court should decide the case in his favour. That doesn't mean it will. And, you know, that's, I'm afraid, what we have to, the reality we have to face up to. But it is a win today, and it's an important one.
All right, we will leave it there. Take care, everybody.